for your peace of mind.
Forgot to add the fabric softener.
If only he knew about Solo. You can't forget the softener in Solo, because Solo is detergent and fabric softener in one. Solo gives you a clean so soft, it's actually fluffed up higher with softness.
Wait! You missed it!
Next time, get Solo. It cleans with a softness you can't forget.
WCCO.
This is for traffic going into Jamaica, Mike.
Twin Cities ham radio operators, just like their counterparts all across the country, are busy today trying to reach areas already flattened by Hurricane Gilbert. The island of Jamaica seems to be the hardest hit so far, with 11 dead and 60,000 homeless.
WCCO Television presents Don Shelby, Pat Miles, and Bud Kraehling. This is the 5 p.m. report.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, as we're keeping track of Gilbert at this hour, it is still sitting right on top of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula.
The storm weakened a bit today as it moved on to land, but it's still classified as the strongest there is, a Class 5 hurricane. More than 100,000 people fled Mexico's resort coast before Gilbert approached. In its path, the hurricane is said to have left the Grand Cayman Islands in the Caribbean virtually treeless, and damages are perhaps the heaviest in Jamaica, where all power is out and communication lines are still down. At least 11 people were killed. 60,000 people are homeless there. One witness said 80% of the roofs were ripped off the buildings in the capital city of Kingston alone. The U.S. State Department has set up a hurricane crisis hotline for the hundreds of thousands of Americans to call with questions about friends and relatives vacationing in these areas. That number, 202-647-7310. What you can expect to hear when you call that number, the State Department says, rest easy. It has received no reports of any Americans injured or killed by this storm. And in just a couple of minutes, we'll talk live with a Twin Cities ham radio operator who has been trying to get through to hard-hit areas today, since ham radios seem to be the only line of direct communication at this point. In fact, we'll see if he's had any luck trying to reach Pat Miles and Bill Carlson of our staff. They were vacationing in Jamaica with their families when the storm hit, and we haven't been able to reach them since Monday.
And we're going to check right now with Bud Kraehling. He is in the Weather Center, and he has the latest on the hurricane's strength and direction. Bud?
Mr. Don, in the latest hurricane advisory, the hurricane is now located about 600 miles southeast of Brownsville, Texas, and a hurricane watch has been issued for the entire Texas coast from Brownsville to Port Arthur and for the northeastern part of Mexico north of Tampico. Winds are down now to 140 miles an hour, but the storm continues to move to the west-northwest at a steady 15 miles an hour and is expected to strengthen as it moves out into the Gulf. It's at latitude 21 north, longitude 88 west. And once again, we have a hurricane watch for the entire Texas coast and for the northeastern part of Mexico. Don?
All right, Bud, thank you very much. It is still anybody's guess as to when and if Gilbert will make a landfall on the USA coast, but all along the Gulf Coast, residents are taking no chances whatsoever. They've boarded up homes and businesses. They've taped windows to protect from the shattering glass. And grocery stores are already reporting that they are running out of many emergency items as customers stock up on supplies with which to ride out the storm. We're going to go live to Houston, Texas a bit later in our newscast to hear more about the storm preparations going on now along the Texas Gulf Coast. As we mentioned a moment ago, thousands of ham radio operators have suddenly become the world's only link with the Caribbean.
At this point, it is still the only means of communication with that region.
On the north coast of the island, and they're all okay. I'll pass that on. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Don Strom is a ham radio operator out of Bloomington, and he has been working with the local Red Cross to try and locate people from this area vacationing in the hardest hit spots, and that would include our own Pat Miles and Bill Carlson. Don joins us live now from the radio room in his home. Don, thanks for joining us. Any luck yet?
No, not any luck at all. I think basically what happened is that Pat and her group, along with all the other people in the hotels, when the storm was approaching, they were brought inland up into the hills. And I have a feeling right now they're probably been taken back into one of the hotels that's still standing, although they don't have water or electricity or telephones, so that's probably where they're at right now.
Have you had any luck in locating any of the other friends and relatives from this area?
Not really. What's happening is the frequencies that the FCC are using for tracking the hurricane and handling traffic are crowded with information related to incoming medical supplies and that type of thing. So people who need to find out health and welfare, it's still too early for that.
Well, Don, we've had an awful hard time getting information out of that area on the extent of damages.
Sure.
What have people been telling you?
Well, we had just heard just now that the Prime Minister, I believe, was indicating of Jamaica was indicating something like $4 billion in damage. But the island is very heavily damaged. Fortunately, there's relatively few casualties considering the number of homes that were destroyed and hotels that were basically blown away.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being with us, and you'll keep us posted.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Don. We should also mention that a special fund has already been set up for Jamaican storm victims. It was set up by a local woman who has relatives on that island. If you would like to contribute, you can send a donation to any metro area branch of Twin Cities Federal.
St. Paul police destroyed more than $100,000 worth of drugs today. Between 50 and 80 pounds of marijuana, cocaine, crack, and other pills were confiscated during this summer. Today, they were taken to the North Star Steel Foundry and loaded in the blast furnace, where temperatures reached 2,000 degrees. The government is reporting a huge improvement in the nation's trade imbalance. The Commerce Department says the deficit shrank to $9.5 billion in July, the lowest monthly imbalance since December of '84. The 28% improvement reflects a small increase in exports and a big decline in imports.
Stay with us now as the Wednesday 5 continues. We're going to go live to Wisconsin on this opening day of a state lottery there.
And we're going to show you how things are already hopping as the Twin Cities gets ready to welcome Prince. He brings his concert tour home tonight.
Contrary to popular belief, the dollar seems to be improving daily. For example, on Mondays at Burger King,
you get a Whopper for 99 cents. Tuesdays, a double cheeseburger. Wednesdays, the dollar holds strong with a 99-cent Whopper Junior and regular fries. Thursdays, 2 hamburgers.
The economic trend continues Friday with a 99-cent whaler. My advice is to enjoy this trend while it lasts.
The 99-cent daily specials available at participating Burger King restaurants.
We do it like you do it at Burger King.
Since I was 4 years old, I've been able to make spoons bend using only the power of my mind. It's no trick. Like I always say, things aren't always what they seem. Take Edie's Grand Light. It seems to be regular ice cream, but it's a lot lower in calories, all natural, and 93% fat-free. You have to try it. All you need is a spoon.
Being a Toyota night watchman isn't easy. When Toyota's year-end clearance is ending, nobody wants to miss the best deals of the year. Great deals on Toyota, America's #1 imported car and truck. Save over $1,000 on special factory options.
No, get out!
Then make your best year-end clearance deal.
Anybody got a Band-Aid?
There are only a few days left. Toyota dealers year-end clearance.
Don't let somebody else get the one you want.
Hurry.
Use our best. True Test Weatherall Siliconized Acrylic Latex Caulk is just 99 cents. Has the true value of the month at participating True Value hardware stores.
In less than 3 hours, the pretty people of Minnesota's music community will head to Met Center.
Well, Minnesota's own Prince is back in town, along with the North American debut of his Love Sexy tour.
If his royal badness is true to style, the sellout crowd tonight will likely witness Prince pull out all the stops for his hometown audience. The Love Sexy tour started this summer with a 3-concert swing through Paris, France, where he reportedly broke out of his shell and let loose. Twin Cities fans are ready for that.
Yes, you're catching the KMA P1370 Prince Marathon all the way until 3 in the morning. Alan Freed here is 20 minutes before.
From 3 this afternoon until 3 tomorrow morning, KMAP Radio in St. Paul will fill its airwaves with music by Prince.
White Knight Limousine, this is Ann. Can you hold, please?
It's been a hectic day for most limousine services in the Twin Cities. If you haven't reserved your white stretch limo yet, you may be out of luck. The unidentified man who rented the so-called super stretch limo flew in from Omaha, Nebraska this morning for a little shopping before tonight's Prince performance. He requested 2 bottles of Dom Perignon, the red carpet treatment, and 100 long-stem roses. He plans to hand them out at tonight's show.
There aren't any tickets left for tonight's concert, which begins at 8 tonight. There are still some tickets available for tomorrow night's show, we are told. Might also report to you that I may not be on the 10 p.m. news.
Why is that, Don?
Tonight. I may go to that concert.
You may. You definitely have plans.
Yes, I'm going to go to the concert, and I hope to be able to bring you live from the Met Center the first ever interview with Prince. No, I can't. They can't
You
guarantee
can
that.
always
No one's ever
try.
talked to him.
Well, you can always try.
You know, I say this every time we do a Prince story, but his bad self has never called me, not once, has never tried to make contact with me.
Wait, is that your phone ringing, I hear?
I'll be right back.
Could be.
But we are going to have a live report tonight from the Met Center. I'm going to try to interview some of the people who have actually spoken to Prince once upon a time.
You know, I think a lot of people are curious, being from the Twin Cities, how he was received in Europe. How was that tour received?
All reports indicate that he was received wonderfully, especially in France. Apparently he is another one of the American cult figures in France, and they treated him very, very well there. And it came on the heels, actually it was preceded by some months, and some of the stops, the Michael Jackson tour, so they had a double dose going in.
So it all starts all over again tonight here in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, and we'll try to bring you a little bit of it tonight on the 10 p.m. report.
Great. Thanks, Don. Well, tonight, for the first time, Wisconsin residents are playing the lottery. The state's new lottery began there today at noon. And in Hudson, people lined up for the chance to be among the first to play. Top prize in the Wisconsin lottery is $1 million. The money generated by ticket sales will be used for tax relief. Many of those buying tickets today in Hudson were Minnesotans. Minnesota voters will consider a lottery amendment to the state constitution on our November ballot. And we're going to check the rest of the weather with Bud when the Wednesday 5 continues.
And we're going to tell you about a new approach toward painkillers that one local woman is using to prepare for surgery. Both of those items coming up next.
Finding the ideal pharmacy is easy. It's real close to your favorite place to save on things for your car. The pharmacy with low prices on name brands and even bigger savings on generic equivalents were allowed is right around the corner from your favorite photo store. In fact, the perfect pharmacy isn't just close to your favorite place to save on things for your home, your health, or yourself. It's right inside it. The pharmacy at Kmart, the saving place.
They're testing a pretty hot piece of equipment here. Bryant's new thinking gas furnace. It's got an electronic brain that constantly adjusts its own performance, making it the quietest, most efficient Bryant ever. And after all these tests, you can be sure it'll keep your home comfortable for a long, long time, because Bryant's got the right stuff to last.
In the southwest suburban area, you can contact Centrair Incorporated or call The Connection.
Remember the iWorks? Now it's iLab. It's like another grand opening. There's even a special offer. Come on. Pick out new frames from a select group and you pay only half price. There are hundreds of frames to choose from. You can still get quality glasses in 1 hour, and you know they'll be right. Half price sale. Now that's pretty exciting, isn't it? Come on in.
The iWorks is now iLab. Hurry in, sale ends soon.
Out of nowhere came a window that shocked all other replacement windows. It protected homeowners from outside weather. It eliminated window maintenance. It tilts in for easy cleaning. Now it's the window all others are compared to. For more information, call the toll-free number on your screen. Omni replacement windows have weathered the storm.
Omni replacement windows.
By Midwest Energy Specialists.
It's your best deal.
Oh, this is one of those days
Another
you want
one.
to keep in your memory, isn't it?
It's hard to believe that we're enjoying this beautiful weather.
It
The parts
is.
of the country
It
and the
is.
world that are getting just devastated by that hurricane.
We stayed sunny and 74 this afternoon. We've cooled off just a tad. We're at 73 now. Briefly, just a quick update about Hurricane Gilbert.
Okay.
The National Hurricane Center has issued a hurricane watch for the entire Texas coast. It'll go from Brownsville up to Port Arthur, northeastern Mexico, north of Tampico for the evening. The storm is moving out into the western Gulf and expected to strengthen in the next hour or two. Winds have been gusting up to 200 miles an hour as it passed over the northern part of Yucatan. Certainly just devastation widespread through Jamaica and the Caymans and Yucatan north of in our area. I think we had one of those kind of the Como Park days. Maybe that's a good description for it. That's such a lovely area in St. Paul. And we just know that the pollen count had to be improved to today. Average at 30 grains per cubic meter of air, and it's 64% ragweed. So pollen is back now to average. In the Twin Cities area, we're sunny. We mentioned a moment ago the warmest the afternoon was 74 degrees. We're at 72 now. Humidity at 27%, winds from the northeast at 9, and pressure steady at 30.17. Sunny, a temperature at 72 degrees. Looks like we got a couple of cloudy days with a chance of rain coming up. On this weather system that cuts through the southeastern states, there was quite a bit of rain today. In fact, Galveston County has advised some of the folks to evacuate an area south of Galveston in the peninsula area there because of the storm's approach. 94 this afternoon at Galveston. They had scattered showers. There was also some rain in the southern part of Florida and down through Havana had rain today. Afternoon temperature at 80. We get up to Atlanta nearer this front. It was sunny, temperature at 90. Cleveland sunny and 72. Rain at Grand Island, Nebraska. Afternoon temperature was 77. Yuma went to 100 for the afternoon, and Portland, well, still on the warmer side in the upper 80s at 87, and partly cloudy at Portland. There is some precipitation from South Dakota around Aberdeen and Watertown, and it spreads almost in a line down through central Kansas and central Oklahoma into the northeastern part of Texas. Some light rain to the extreme southern part of Texas in the Brownsville area and the extreme southern part of Florida. There are some scattered showers. Rain is forecast for tomorrow to spread all the way from Mobile, Alabama, up through Topeka, Kansas, and into Grand Island, Nebraska, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And in our forecast for tomorrow, we have a chance of rain. Increasing cloudiness tonight. That'll start us off 55 with the overnight temperature. Winds to the northeast at 5 to 10. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance of afternoon showers, and the high temperature for tomorrow at 70. Easterly winds 10 to 15. And Friday, cloudy, a good chance of showers with the afternoon temperature at 67 degrees. Our total precipitation for the month, we did have some rain earlier in the month. You kind of have to remember back when that was. So our total for the month is at 68/100ths of an inch. But now we're a half inch below average already for the month of September. So I suppose you'd have to say that showers would be welcome if we have some rain in the next couple of days.
I think so. It's been dry. You can tell everything needs watering again.
Certainly like to go into the fall with quite a bit of moisture in the ground for the trees through the winter time, if you can possibly do that. Really, people should be really watering the trees every day to really keep it at.
But a question about Gilbert. Is it possible that some of the effects of Gilbert could eventually reach, certainly not the hurricane itself, but the effects of Gilbert could reach Minnesota?
Quite often we say, well, we don't have hurricanes here, but that's certainly possible. The forecaster told me earlier today that maybe next week into Tuesday or Wednesday we could get some precipitation from the storm.
Okay, bud. Thank you. A Blaine, Minnesota woman today underwent a major surgical procedure using hypnosis to control pain and relaxation. The hysterectomy on Sherry Martin, a mother of two, was performed at North Memorial Medical Center in Robbinsdale, where Mike Strand is standing by with further details. Mike.
Don, Sherry Martin is resting comfortably and is already back in her room here and reported in good condition after nearly 2.5 hours of surgery to remove an enlarged uterus. We're told she needed no painkillers up until about the last hour when doctors administered a mild dose of narcotics because she had begun to lose her concentration. Staffers here in the operating room were said to be amazed at the procedure, which is the first to be performed here at North Memorial, and which kept the patient awake, even joking with doctors during it. The key, Sherry Martin says at least, is that hypnosis makes her feel strong, yet relaxed and numb. This morning, just minutes before she was taken down to the operating room, Sherry spoke with us about her decision to try using her mind to block pain. She says earlier experiences with knockout drugs made her feel groggy for weeks afterwards. Hypnosis seemed a natural alternative, but she wasn't easily convinced.
Check in there. Then,
I thought I would be going in there and he was going to be moving this pendulum or watch or something in front of me and saying, "You are slowly going to sleep," snap his fingers and I'm awake. It was nothing like that. It's exciting. It's, I'm a little nervous, but it's mostly exciting.
These pictures were taken shortly after she was removed from surgery about 2.5 hours ago. She was still awake and alert and complaining of cramps and comparing her surgery to giving birth to a child. Now with me to discuss the operation this afternoon is Dr. Alex Levitin, who was in the surgery and is the hypnotist who worked with the patient today. You're also an oncologist and an internist, so you've got a lot of experience on that. Tell me, what was your reaction to today's, it seems amazing to people who might not be familiar with hypnosis.
Well, I thought she did very well. Of course, we've done quite a few of these before, not at North Memorial, but at other hospitals, and I expected her to do well. I had every confidence, otherwise we wouldn't have taken her to the operating room under those circumstances. I think the thing that was most surprising was the size of the uterus that had to be removed. It was a very, very large uterus, and it caused some significant problems for the surgeon, who did an excellent job with handling the matter. She did remarkably well, and I think she's going to continue to do very well indeed.
You understand the process of the mind perhaps better than most of us. How do you explain it to a layman in terms of how she controlled her pain?
Well, all of us have the ability to turn off awareness of pain. We can turn off various awareness. The example that I commonly use in teaching the students at the U is that we don't feel the shoes on our feet, the clothing on our body, the jewelry on our bodies most of the time. And we can use that same ability to turn off awareness of certain sensations to advantage in dealing with pain. And we use it for both acute and chronic pain situations.
Do you have any thoughts of this procedure becoming more mainstream in the future then?
I think it is. I think it already is becoming. Certainly in our community, it's much more accepted. I think we're seeing similar types of procedures being performed in other areas of the country, not with any great frequency, but on a rare occasion. And I think that as this sort of information becomes available, more and more doctors will learn how to use hypnosis and have the confidence to employ it successfully.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Al Levitin. It was a fascinating procedure, and doctors here, the surgeon, in fact, is calling Sherry Martin one remarkable lady. Don and Colleen?
I just wonder how many people out there, Mike, are sort of wincing at the very thought of taking the chance. It occurs to me, how did she know that this was going to work?
She is described as a very motivated lady. She has been unemployed. She's beginning school later this month. She wants to get on with her life, and she felt that hypnosis would allow her to recover more quickly. And Dr. Levitin has said that that should be the case, and she has done very well. She's motivated. She has the ability to concentrate and to imagine. She's having better experience than surgery, and so she came through it with flying colors.
Good for her. Thank you very much, Mike. Man, we're going to have more of that coming up on our 10 p.m. report tonight, and we're going to be back with more of this Wednesday 5 in just a moment. First of all, we're going to check the time for you right now. 5:22 and 20.
If anybody touches it, I'm gonna scream. Oh, man, ouch.
Those tissues, they really start tearing our noses up.
Here's first aid for your nose when it's sore from too much blowing. Puffs Plus.
It feels like it has lotion in it.
Lotion. Does it feel like lotion?
It's the first tissue with moisturizing lotion. Puffs Plus.
My nose isn't sore, it isn't rough, it isn't red anymore.
My nose loves Puffs Plus. Much better than my other tissue.
If you're gonna have allergies, it's better with Puffs Plus.
Dave Lennox. Since 1895, new ideas in heating and cooling. Get up to a $400 rebate on the Lennox Pulse furnace when purchased with a 14 Series heat pump or air conditioner. Call your independent Lennox dealer.
At O'Connor Plumbing and Heating, you get friendly sales and service and the best in energy-saving equipment.
Call my friend John at O'Connor's today. Heating Consultants offers quality service and installation to New Prague and the Minnesota River Valley area. Call Heating Consultants today.
Attaboy, Dave.
At other optical stores, making glasses fast means making easy prescriptions.
But at LensCrafters, our in-store labs can custom craft even difficult prescriptions in about an hour.
The LensCrafters made my bifocals in 45 minutes.
And what I like is you get them in just about an hour.
I think LensCrafters give you top quality.
At LensCrafters, fast means even difficult prescriptions in about an hour.
LensCrafters, custom-crafted eyeglasses in about an hour. Burnsville Center, Southdale Center, Lomans Plaza, Crystal Shopping Center, and now in East St. Paul.
You lose your vulnerability if you're a perfectionist. You can't be human and be cared about because you've always got to achieve. You've always got to be number one to be something.
It's been real helpful to realize that that type of value system of being a perfectionist has had a lot to do with the problems of depression.
The new Quick Fix Therapy Does It Work? Next on Thursday at 8 on Channel 4.
Now, Minnesota is midway through what is being called its Festival of the Book.
The week-long event was designed to fight illiteracy and to encourage Minnesota authors. And today you will meet the author of a book called The Indispensible Woman. It is written to help women who feel they have to be everything to everybody and end sacrificing their own happiness in the bargain.
Do you know anything about that at all?
It sounds vaguely familiar, I'm afraid.
I think I'm married to one, perhaps. Ellen Sue Stern wrote the book. She is from St. Louis Park, and she joins us here today. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, is this a story of your life? Were you or are you an indispensable woman? And what is an indispensable woman?
I am, and I was, and I'm not as much as I was.
Okay.
The book very much came out of my own experience. 2 years ago, I was beginning to fall apart. I was doing too much. I wasn't getting enough fulfillment and satisfaction out of what I was doing. On the outside, my life looked great. I was achieving a lot, producing a lot, but I was really running on empty. I wasn't taking in enough energy, and I wasn't really savoring my life. I was just going too fast and being too anxious and ragged and worried all of the time.
How does a woman know she is an indispensable woman? What are some of the signs?
That's a tough one because indispensable women are running so fast and their lives are so hurried and cluttered and filled with distractions and deadlines. A lot of times we become out of touch with our inner voice and we don't know that we're doing it. In fact, we considered writing on the front of the book, if you're too busy to read this book, buy it.
You are one.
It's a problem, right. I think, number one, you have to stop long enough to look at your own life and see that you've perhaps been taking on more responsibility than you need to. It's really a pattern of creating more pressure for ourselves than already exists. We have enough as it is. Women are very pressured today, but we may be causing even more pressure on top of it.
Now, you write a lot about women who don't ask for help in things that they could be asking for help. They feel like they're the only ones that can really do it the quickest or do it the best way. What is the danger in that, in considering yourself indispensable or the only one that can get this task done?
There's a number of very serious dangers in it. One is certainly your health suffers. There's a lot of stress-related illness connected with this. We also alienate the people that we're close to by taking on everything. It's a way of being in control, and it really isn't right or fair to the people closest to us to take over for them. That's not really being loving. Even though we think that we're giving and giving, we're in fact pushing them away. So there's a lot of ways in which we're self-defeating by doing this. We squander our energy. We aren't able to really focus on the things that are most important to us.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ellen Sue Stern, The Indispensable Woman. This is the second of 3 books. The third one's going to come out, too, and it's going to have guys in it.
Right, right.
And you also do seminars on the subject.
I do also conferences and seminars. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we will be back with more of the 5 p.m. report in just a moment. But first, a look at the time. 5:27:29.
30.
Shop the low prices sale at Menards and get ready for winter. Here's the last storm and screen door you'll ever have to buy. The Forever Door by Emco. It's guaranteed for as long as you own your home. Now just $189. Manville fiberglass insulation is on sale too, with a Kraft vapor barrier back. Plus, there's $1 per roll mail-in rebate. Your cost is just $4.88 per roll. Hurry in to save this week at Menards.
We're helping you build America's heartland at Menards.
Who here eats Kellogg's Corn Flakes? Who here would switch if they knew there was a corn flake from Total? If they knew Total Corn Flakes had 100% of 12 vitamins and minerals? If they knew Total Corn Flakes had twice the vitamin and mineral nutrition? Even tasted better? For a better tasting, more nutritious cornflake, Total Corn Flakes has it all. If it's Total Corn Flakes, it's total nutrition.
This typewriter and I have been through a lot of deadlines together. Kind of shows, too.
but I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's kind of like my Yellow Pages, U.S. West Direct. I've got some other directories around here, but none of them have as much information as this book right here. You can tell by my doodling. It's the one that I use. I couldn't write a better book myself.
It's the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
Stick with it. That's one thing learning to play the clarinet and band has taught me.
LeBlanc world-class instruments include Vito clarinets and saxophones, and Holton brass instruments.
We got my clarinet from Schmitz. My parents like their trial plan because we can always return it. And Schmitz has lessons, music, everything you need right there.
Schmitz band and orchestra instruments backed by a tradition of service since 1896.
Band's fun. I'm glad I stuck with it.
Dave Moore.
Just a quick preview. One of the items forthcoming in a half hour on the 6 p.m. report.
Fires in vacant buildings, a headache for the Minneapolis Fire Department. I'm Dave Nimmer, and I'll have the story at 6.
Also at 6, Skip Loescher, our man in Washington, will report on the activities of Governor Perpich in the capital city today. Governor Perpich striking